Welcome to a demonstration of the Dice Save plugin. So recently, you may have seen my Proximity Roller plugin, which allows you to roll a bunch of dice just by rolling one die, and all dice in a certain proximity will also get rolled. This allows you to easily add or remove dice from a group and roll that, a feature that Talespire core does not yet have. But you may say, that's great, but I'm a wizard. I've got so many different spells that need so many different dice combinations, and since Talespire doesn't save dice, every session I would have to pull all of those dice combinations out just to be able to use them for that session, and when it comes to the next session, I've got to do it all over again. There's got to be a better way. And that's what the Dice Save plugin is for. So, what the Dice Save plugin allows you to do, as the name suggests, is once you've got your dice all out on the board, placed exactly where you want it, you can save that state, and it is a campaign level save. So any board within that campaign, when you load it up, it will restore those dice. It will load them into the tray, pop them out, and move them into the same positions that the dice were in. So let's demonstrate that. Toss a die here. Whoops. Toss a die up here. Let's put one out here. One there. D20 out here. Here. Like that. So let's say this is my dice layout. Again, obviously, if I was playing this game, I would probably maybe have a side table where I'd have different groups of my dice or something like that. That's up to you. This is just kind of demonstrating the concept. So I've got some dice out here, and I'm going to save the state. The saving of the state is manual. It is not done automatically, but the loading is done automatically. So I'm going to save the state. Okay, I get a confirmation up there saying the state has been saved. So now, if I go to the main menu, and I'm going to just load that same board over again. Now, in a normal Talespire campaign, if you load that board, dice are not restored. So I would get whatever assets and tiles were there, but I would not normally get my dice. But with the Dice Save plugin, when I load the board, you can see immediately the tray starts loading dice, drops them down, and then moves them out to the same locations that they were at before. So now the layout of my dice has been restored. Now again, this is campaign level, so when you go to a different location within the campaign, all your dice that would be associated with your character will still be available. If you start a new campaign, your dice will not be restored because obviously you're likely to have a different character. If you ever need those dice carried over to a new campaign, it is fairly easy to do so, but it's a manual step. Now, there are some downsides and some positive sides. If you restore the dice, all of the dice will come back as individual dice. So even if I load into the tray, for example, a common thing like this, when it is loaded back, it will load back as individual dice. Now, for regular play, that's kind of undesirable because, especially things like this, you want to be able to roll both at once. So that's the bad news. The good news is, if you are using my proximity roller plugin that recently came out, this is actually good news, because what it means, if I want to, for example, get 6d6 out, normally with the proximity roller plugin, I would have to bring out 6 individual d6s so that they could act independently. With the dice save, because they always come back as individual dice, I can actually now do something like this, bring that out. Now, right now, it is a group, but if I, for example, save this, save the state, now if I reload that board, we will see that all of those dice have now turned into individual dice. So instead of me having to bring them out one by one, I can just bring out the group, which is much faster. And then when I load the board, they'll become individual ones, so they're ready to be used with the proximity roller plugin. So now I've got most of my dice here close together. Oops. But if I now move these out of the way, I would be able to use the proximity roller, because you can see that all of these dice have become individual. So if I had the proximity roller active, I'd be able to roll these now using the proximity. And that's about it.